What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again with another Manchester City transfer update. Before I do crack on with today's update, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. I'm going to keep you guys up to date every single day here on YouTube with all the latest City transfer news. It's going to be a busy one to transfer deadline day on September 1st. You don't want to miss a thing, so do subscribe. Social media links, they're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on today's video. We're aiming for 300 likes, and do also get your thoughts in the comments below. So we've got no contract news to speak about in today's video. We do have the very latest though in the outs, and we're going to start off by speaking about James McAtee. And Sky Sports News were reporting yesterday that James McAtee was at the City Football Academy yesterday morning, saying his farewell to the staff there and also his teammates ahead of a move to Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest have agreed a £30 million transfer with Manchester City, which is made up of a £22 million upfront fee with £8 million in add-ons. There is a sell-on fee and buyback clause included, with all that information coming as per Fabrizio Romano and David Ornstein. Obviously, the announcement hasn't come obviously yesterday, so it could come at any point this weekend. If not, then it will be early next week. And speaking of Nottingham Forest, they're not going away. They're interested in another Manchester City player, and that is Rico Lewis. Now, we've had some clarification and also some reliability put onto this story now. So Jack Gaughan was saying in the last 24 hours that Nottingham Forest aren't done with Manchester City yet. They're going to be signing James McAtee, and they want to sign another homegrown top talent from Manchester City in the form of Rico Lewis, who Manchester City are valuing at more than £30 million this summer. It says that Manchester City would let Rico Lewis leave this summer for the right offer. Manchester City did want to put Rico Lewis onto a new contract, and they have tried that this summer, but that hasn't materialised. And I suspect City will want a sell-on fee and buyback clause included on this deal as well, which is going to affect the overall price that Nottingham Forest potentially could pay to City. Now, Rico Lewis is contracted until June of 2028. Still got 3 years left on his contract. Unlike with James McAtee, he only has 10 months left on his contract. 3 years on Rico Lewis's contract does give Manchester City a little bit of power when it comes to this transfer. Now, this potential sale could open up the possibility for City to look at a right back, but I'm not right now expecting that to be the case. Now, Alex Crook has said that Forest are willing to double Rico Lewis's current wage at Man City. They have open talks with Rico Lewis's representatives, and Rico Lewis is believed to be contemplating on this move. The Athletic have also confirmed that Forest and City are talking over the finances of a potential transfer, and Nottingham Forest are exploring this deal right now. Fabrizio Romano has said that Forest made a bid to Manchester City last night for Rico Lewis, but that bid isn't going to be accepted. Nobody accepts their first offers. But rather than giving out a flat-out rejection, Manchester City want to negotiate on this transfer, with both clubs now continuing them negotiations with both the club and also with the player and his representatives. Fabrizio Romano says that Nottingham Forest, their stance on this transfer is they believe that Rico Lewis is keen to make the deal happen. So Manchester City could be gaining even more money into their bank account from this transfer. We'll see if City do choose to dip into the market to replace Rico Lewis. They may want to keep at least one spot open in their squad, as it is a non-homegrown player. Homegrown players don't really affect Manchester City. City could replace Rico Lewis. If they do, then it is going to have to be with another homegrown player, so we'll see what does happen. Anyway, moving on, we've got an update on the two Brazilian lads at Manchester City in the form of Ederson and Savinho. Pep Guardiola, in his press conference in the build-up to Man City's game against Wolves away from home today, seems to have confirmed, without confirming, what we're all seem to know already, which is Ederson and Savinho could well be off this summer. Now, during Pep Guardiola's press conference, he's said that Savinho's going to be out for a few weeks. He's working on his fitness at home. He's got a little injury, so we'll see if we do get any more developments on that. I am going to put some quotation marks on he is injured because, yeah, transfer talk. Ederson who is travelling with Manchester City, and it has been reported today that it's believed that Ederson is not going to be starting for Manchester City today in their game against Wolves. It's going to be James Trafford, which again, Ederson's got a small knock, but because Stefan Ortega's been told to leave the club, I don't think he's been working around the City first team squad, so he's not going to be available for selection. We would look towards our third choice keeper in this instance to give Ederson a rest so he can stay fit ahead of a potential move to Galatasaray. However, Marcus Bettinelli, City's third choice keeper, is currently injured, so we're not going to name just one goalkeeper because that's a silly thing to do. So whilst Ederson is fit, he's going to travel down with the squad and he's going to make the bench, but he's not going to be starting, which I think is huge, in particular after Pep Guardiola had confirmed just yesterday night that Ederson is Manchester City's first choice number one goalkeeper. And if your first choice number one goalkeeper is fit enough to make the squad, fit enough to be on the bench, then they're fit enough to start, because James Trafford could pick up an injury in the first minute, and there isn't much difference between playing 90 minutes and 89 minutes. So if you're fit enough to be on the bench, you're fit enough to start. Ederson's fit enough to start. He's making the squad only because Bettinelli is injured, and we've got no other choice in terms of the goalkeepers because we've not been utilising Stefan Ortega. And I don't know why, because I just selected Stefan Ortega here. So it's all a bit of a mess. And yeah, Pep Guardiola had said yesterday that he doesn't really know what's going to happen. He said apparently Ederson is injured. You'd think that Pep Guardiola would have some clarification. It might just be a simple miscommunication between the medical team and Manchester City's manager. It could also be reading between the lines here. And for me, this is what everything seems to be pointing towards. We're looking at two players at Manchester City who are interested in leaving, where there's potential offers coming in, some serious amounts of money to be made, and there's some bits of business that City could be left to sort in this transfer window. And because of that, you don't want to run the risk of anything happening, and if the players' heads have been turned towards them wanting a move, then it's best not to feature them. If you know, that's what you have your squad for. You go with a player who is committed, a player who is 100% focused, and that seems to be the case with what is happening here. As confirmed by the MEN, Ederson is travelling down with Manchester City. I'd have thought, as I said, Ortega would have been the one, but I don't think he's been working around the City first team squad as he's been told to leave, so I think his focus right now is on leaving Manchester City rather than focusing on our game with Wolverhampton Wanderers. And Jamie Jackson has said that Savinho's injury isn't that serious. It's not going to prevent him from getting a potential transfer this summer to Tottenham Hotspur. This injury isn't serious, and also he's fit enough to do the medical for Tottenham Hotspur, which if you're fit enough to be doing the medical might be a small knock, but everything just seems to be pointing towards these two players leaving Manchester City this summer, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. I said this team selection and the squad for this game was going to be really interesting, because if Savinho and Ederson are missing, then what does that tell you? And when Pep Guardiola is saying he doesn't know what's happening, again, what does that tell you? He's being told that you don't feature these players because there's potential transfers on the line. These transfers could still collapse, they may not happen, but at this moment in time I suspect that could be the case. So yeah, anyway, moving on to the ins, got a very quick story, and it comes in the form of a new name, an update on Josh Acheampong from Chelsea. He's English, homegrown, plays as a defender, can play as a centre-back, can also play as a right-back, 19 years old, very much a like-for-like replacement for Rico Lewis. Apart from Rico Lewis, he's also homegrown by the club too. Acheampong isn't homegrown by the club, but is homegrown. City do already have 4 players to cover their quota when it comes to the Champions League. This isn't to do with the Premier League registrations, it's to do with the Champions League registrations. Acheampong would be able to be registered by City if they wanted to, but he can also go onto the UEFA List B as well as an option here for City. So I imagine if there is an affordable deal for Acheampong, then Man City may want to explore that. In terms of the 4 homegrown players by the club, we're still covered even if Rico Lewis does leave us. We've got Phil Foden, James Trafford, Nico O'Reilly and Oscar Bobb is my understanding of the players who can help cover that. Now the Guardian are saying that City are interested in Acheampong, but no solid moves has been made as of yet, as Man City are wanting more clarity about the future and the happenings of Rico Lewis. It's disappointing, I'll be honest, when we're looking at a potential player, a defender that can help cover at right back, because you're automatically thinking about why we've not done even more to try and bring in Tino Livramento, but I just don't think Tino Livramento is going to happen this summer. Livramento doesn't want to leave Newcastle, and that is as far as it goes. The City do want to look at homegrown centre-backs. I know Mark Gaughan from Crystal Palace is available and homegrown and a fantastic player available for, it's not too expensive. I've heard it's like £40 million or something, so if we wanted to look at a centre-back, then he could have been an option, but I don't think Man City are contemplating that, and Acheampong seems to be just an option for Manchester City right now. Could be a case where we look to the academy to fill in these gaps. I'm going to call them fillers in the Manchester City squad instead. I don't expect that player to be a filler player. Would be Callum Doyle. I am still expecting him to leave Manchester City. I don't think it's going to be a case where Rico Lewis could be sold and Callum Doyle could come into Man City's defence instead. I'm not expecting that to be the case, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Rico Lewis leave City and City don't choose to replace him in this window, keep that spot open, go with the squad that they've already got, and then have a good look maybe in the January transfer market if there's better options when it comes to defenders and players who can play on that right hand side, or whether they may just want to leave it until next summer and explore that option again. But you can't help but look at City and, Matheus Nunes, Rico Lewis, they're your two right backs. Everybody else is just going to be versatile players. I mean, even I can suggest Matheus Nunes is a versatile fullback. It's not his natural position, and it's just all round for me a weak spot that City should have been maybe doing a little bit more. And the fact that we're looking at Man City's only natural out-and-out right-back in Rico Lewis leaving the team, I mean, we've got options that can help cover, but to me it looks like an obvious weakness for Manchester City, and I'm quite surprised that they're not choosing to address it, but circumstantial means Man City just can't address that, unfortunately, in this window, because it needs to be homegrown. The best player for that position doesn't want to join the club, so we're kind of got our hands tied when it comes to potential transfers, but seemingly looking like Acheampong from Chelsea could be an option for Manchester City. So I'd love to know your thoughts of this, guys, in the comments below. Also, don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up on the video. We're aiming for 300 likes. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. It is free to subscribe. I'm going to keep you guys up to date every single day here on YouTube with all the latest City transfer news, so do subscribe. Social media links, including my X, Instagram, and TikTok. Them links are in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. My email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And religiously, I'll see you again tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. And I also have my link out if you want to go and check out my live watch along of Wolves v Man City in the Premier League, going live today at 5 PM BST. The link is already out on my channel if you want to go and set your reminders on there. We can talk all things Man City transfers on there as well, so do come and feel free and join me on that. That would be much appreciated, and I'll see you soon. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.